and thanks for tuning in to True Crime with Fenice. So I was working on a different story, and I happened to come across this story that happened over the weekend of four young ladies who were killed in a vehicle crash from speeding and drinking and driving. There were three young ladies that were deceased in this accident. It was Kenesha Lewis, Octavia Pugh, and Shakayla Mathis. The surviving victim was Mariah Belcher. She was 26 years old. And apparently these four young ladies were coming from a party, and they were filming themselves in the vehicle, drinking and driving and speeding. And you can clearly see in the video that they're passing around alcohol. They each are taking a turn drinking, and even the driver is drinking as well. And you can see on the speedometer in the vehicle that they're clearly going over 100 miles per hour. So what ended up happening from the reports is that the driver ended up losing control, and she crashed over into a field on the side of the road. The vehicle turned a few times, flipped over a few times, and each of the young ladies were thrown from the vehicle. And there's only one surviving victim, as I mentioned before, Mariah Belcher, and right now she is in critical condition with traumatic brain injury, a fractured vertebrae, and a spleen injury. And they're still investigating the incident, and according to the Florida Highway Patrol, they're still awaiting toxicology reports, vehicle data, and the speed recorded in the actual video. This is very sad. It's something that could have been avoided had these young ladies not gotten into that vehicle drinking. And I just wanted to bring awareness and share this with y'all of this very tragic incident. Not only were they drinking and driving, but they weren't wearing their seatbelts either. This is very unfortunate, and I do feel for their loved ones and their family members. And I know they got into that vehicle not knowing that they were going to lose their lives that night. And prayers to their families and prayers to that young lady that survived. And hopefully she can pull through. And stay tuned for a short clip of her mother, the surviving victim, Mariah Belcher. Her mother speaks, and she gives some insight as to how her daughter's doing. And she states that her daughter should have known better to get into a vehicle with a driver that's been drinking. It's very unfortunate, and there's also a short clip of the video of the four young ladies as well before they crashed. And I thank you so much for tuning in to True Crime with Fenice, and I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.
Developing right now in Lake County, Florida Highway Patrol says this video is at the center of their investigation into a deadly crash over the weekend. Troopers claim four women were drinking while speeding. Three of them died. Another is in the hospital tonight in critical condition. Fox 35's Randy Hildreth is live at the hospital in Orlando. And Randy, you spoke to the sole survivor's mother. What did she say?
Yeah, good evening to you, Luann. Spoke with her late this afternoon, and she described her daughter as a fighter, and she is certainly fighting for her life right now. As you mentioned, we have video that has been confirmed by FHP that they are using as part of this investigation. I want to warn viewers that some of this video may not be appropriate for younger viewers. As FHP says, one of the women that you will see in this video is one of the women who was killed. Speeds appearing to top 100 miles per hour, and alcohol passed around the vehicle. Florida Highway Patrol says this video is now part of their investigation into this weekend's deadly crash in Lake County.
In that vehicle, if the video ends up being exactly what our investigators are able to prove, there was a lot of distraction in that car for the driver and for the other passengers.
State troopers say the crash happened early Sunday morning along State Road 19, just south of State Florian Lane. Investigators say the driver failed to negotiate a curve, ran off the road, hit a pole, and flipped several times. They say no one was wearing a seatbelt, and everyone was thrown from the Jeep. 3 people were killed: Kenesha Lewis, Octavia Pugh, and Shakayla Mathis. A 4th passenger, Mariah Belcher, is in the hospital.
My child is here, but it's 3 kids that lost their lives behind this. And I want their family to go through their grieving and not have to worry about my baby.
Mariah's mom says her daughter is still in critical condition but stable. She has a traumatic brain injury, fractured vertebrae in her neck, and suffered a spleen injury.
My whole ride from Alabama, all I could say is my child should live and not die. And she's fighting.
Marcia Knight says her daughter and her friends may have been leaving a party when they allegedly made the post on social media and crashed. She says it's hard watching that video and knowing a night of fun with friends ended like this.
The accountability on my half goes towards my daughter. Because if you knew this person had been drinking, you knew you guys were drinking before, there, after, why? You know what I'm saying? You know better.
FHP says they're still waiting on toxicology reports in this investigation. They also have to compare data from the vehicle to how fast the vehicle was recorded in that video. Investigators are also reminding you to wear your seatbelt. And in a GoFundMe created for Kenesha Lewis, she is described as a mom of 5, and she is remembered as a sweet and loving woman. There was another GoFundMe created for the victim, Octavia Pugh, by her family, and they say they are heartbroken by this. And the entire community is heartbroken. The mayor of Eustis posted on Facebook today that there will be a prayer vigil this weekend on Sunday at 5 o'clock at Carver Park to honor all of these women. Reporting tonight, Randy Hildreth, Fox 35 News.
So